Today, I'm going to be taking you on my strangest train journey yet, as I ride one of Europe's most powerful freight locomotives on a special long-distance trip through Western Poland, from the comfort of these beautiful retro compartment carriages. I'll show you the comfortable armchair seating and the full onboard service, as we find out just what happens when you try to take a massive train down a busy town street. Join me for an epic ride on the iconic Class 66. Good morning from Poznań Główny station here in Western Poland. Today I'm going to be travelling behind one of Europe's most powerful diesel locomotives, as I'm catching the iconic Freightliner Class 66 for the long journey up to Kołobrzeg Port. This is an incredible journey travelling with the private operator Turkol. I'm looking forward to it. Let's go! This morning's trip starts at Poznań Główny, or Poznań Main Station. Poznań Główny is Poland's third most used station, thanks to its position as a major interchange for much of Western Poland. The station was rebuilt to its current condition in 2012, allowing for great expansion and the addition of a brand new shopping mall in the same building. But this rebuild has been subject to constant criticism from passengers, thanks to an extremely convoluted layout, resulting in long walks between platforms and counterintuitive navigation, requiring you to take oddly specific routes to reach certain platforms. It really is a terrible station, and one you have to experience firsthand to truly understand how bad it is. Heading inside the building, you can find all the usual features you'd expect. There's a ticket office selling domestic and international journeys, as well as a few ticket machines. And there are also a few shops, including Poland's famous Żabka. Now, I said earlier that Poznań Główny is a very busy station, but that certainly doesn't apply at 4 in the morning on a Sunday. But even at this hour, there are a few trains heading out of the city. The main operator is Koleje Wielkopolskie, owned by the local government, running Poznan's commuter trains, as well as longer regional trains around the Wielkopolskie region. And of course, Koleje Wielkopolskie still operates its regularly scheduled steam services out of the station, once per week. Additional regional services are operated by Polregio and Łódzka Kolej Aglomeracyjna, while Poland's long-distance operator PKP Intercity connects the station with other major destinations in Poland and abroad, with a frequent and fast service to Berlin in Germany and a daily train to Vienna in Austria. But my train today is a special charter service organised by Turkol, a local railway touring company. I'll be catching the 0508 service to Kołobrzeg, from which we'll leave the national railway network and travel along the street to reach the port. My train departs from platform 10, a real trek from the main hall. After finding my way through the station, I finally catch a glimpse of my exciting train for today's journey. And here we are in front of our locomotive for today. It's 66956, imported from the UK just 2 years ago. This powerful freight locomotive is going to be our haulage all the way up to the coast. Yes, that's right, a British Class 66, pulling a passenger train all the way out here in Poland. This loco started off life hauling heavy freight trains for Freightliner in the UK, but was exported to its Polish subsidiary in 2024. It's certainly a novelty to see such a machine attached to passenger carriages. And speaking of, let's get on board. I'm travelling in Car 4, a first-class compartment carriage. My seat today is number 35, a forward-facing seat at the window. Today's route sees us first heading to Piła before taking a long circuit through Western Poland into Kołobrzeg, and finally making a slow and careful ride down a busy road to the port. Journey time is 7 hours 22 minutes, covering 391 kilometres. We depart on time at 0508 to the familiar sound of the Class 66 engine. Departure is to the north, our train making its way across the many junctions and through the commuter stations surrounding the city of Poznan. We're already up to quite some speed, so let's check out the train's interior before it gets busy at our further stops. All seating is in compartments of 6, resulting in a spacious and private feel. These carriages date back to the early 1980s, but despite this age, are well looked after. The seats are extremely comfortable thanks to being well padded, as you'd certainly expect for a train of this age. There's also a large shaped headrest with firm wings to allow for comfortable resting. Not that you'd want to sleep through what's to come. Each compartment has a closing door for a bit more privacy. Meanwhile, all windows can open wide, giving an amazing view of the passing countryside and also a bit of ventilation. There are armrests between the seats, folded down like so. These were wide and well padded. The seats also had a recline feature, though I did not film this, and I blame the 5 o'clock departure time for this little mistake. Each compartment features small tables by the window and aisle, ideal for a drink. Be sure they are locked into place, or your drink will end up on the floor. And down here is a small bin. Ahead of us is one of our other pickup points, here in the small town of Rogoźno Wielkopolskie. We spend about 30 minutes here, while our train waits for others to pass. As a special charter service, we have low priority in the timetable and need to fit in wherever there's room among regular regional and long-distance trains, such as this overnight train from Przemysl on the Ukrainian border to the southeast. We are continuing north towards the major junction station of Piła Główna. Along the way, we call at Tarnowo-Rogozińskie, a station where the smell hits you like an angry pig, I guess thanks to the nearby compost plant. Piła is one of many smaller Polish cities that grew in importance thanks to its railway connections. No less than 6 different passenger lines converge here, meaning the station has a large footprint here in the city. With such an early departure from Poznan this morning, I skipped breakfast. It sure does come as a relief then that this train has an onboard bar. Like the rest of the train, this carriage retains the retro design it was built with, featuring long tables and stools for sitting. The menu features a selection of simple Polish classics, sold at what I have to say were very fair prices. Both hot and cold drinks were also available, and that includes a selection of Polish beers. I ordered apple pancakes with cream and a cup of tea. This cost me 24 Polish zloty, an absolute bargain. We're currently rocketing along one of Poland's most historically significant railways. This here is the Prussian Eastern Railway, often known by its German name, the Preußische Ostbahn. The line, opened in the middle of the 19th century, served to connect Berlin with the then Prussian cities now known as Gdańsk and Kaliningrad, as well as reaching the Russian Empire. Nowadays, the line runs through the territory of 3 countries, with the lion's share within Poland, running through towns such as Carriage. Back here in the carriage, there is plenty of space for luggage, with the normal 2-tier luggage racks often found in compartments. Smaller items tucked in below, with even the biggest bags fitting on the upper rack. Just above all seats is the individual reading light, with coat hooks found nearby. Each compartment also has various controls situated above the door, allowing you to switch off the light. There's also volume control for the announcements and switches for the ventilation and heating. Every carriage has a toilet at each end. Despite the carriage's age, these were in good condition. Soap was available and the water was working fine. Paper towels are available for drying your hands. We're arriving into Stargard, a station that has just finished a major rebuild project as recently as 2025. At this point, we're close to the city of Szczecin, one of the largest cities in the country, with this main line to our left heading directly to the city centre. However, we instead head north towards our destination of Kołobrzeg. We are currently on the Szczecin to Kołobrzeg route, an unelectrified line served exclusively by Polregio diesel units, making our special rail tour a unique sight. Though as a simple regional line, large swathes of it are single track, meaning we often have to wait for oncoming traffic. The oncoming train is an EN63H, part of a fleet of 12 hybrid units based out of Szczecin, dating back to 2020. Leaving Novogród behind, we enter the final stretch of our journey before the real fun begins. This stretch of line allows our Freightliner Class 66 to stretch its legs, reaching a top speed of 120 kilometres an hour. It's now nearly 11:30 and we're slowing down for Kołobrzeg. The port city is a major tourist destination, thanks to its coastal location. Even the name Kołobrzeg literally translates to by the shore. Here, our locomotive changes end, ready to shunt us over to the extraordinary section of track down the street we've been waiting for. This unusual route is seldom used, and isn't even directly accessible from the station's platforms, making it a tricky task to access. And it's this small sign that marks the end of our ride on Poland's national railway network. From here, we'll be travelling on the street. Instead of signals, train marshals will be guiding us safely to the end of the line. This piece of track really doesn't get much use during the year, and so there is a lot of overgrown vegetation coming into close contact with the train. It's probably not a good idea to stick your head out on this part of the route, but having said that, it's not much better keeping your head in the train either. And at last we've made it, our Class 66 slowly pulling us past cars in the other lane. Our train attracts a lot of attention, from regular tourists and railway enthusiasts from all over Poland and beyond. Now, I've certainly had to wait my fair share of time for trains to pass at level crossings, but I think giving way to a freight locomotive at a roundabout would be a new one for me. As we make our way past the market stalls on the harbour, let's talk about how much this trip cost. I booked my trip on this Turkol train for 239 Polish zloty, which I think is a pretty great deal for such an unusual excursion, especially as this includes the return journey too. We eventually reached the end of the line at Kołobrzeg Port, running some 22 minutes early at 12:08. Overall, I have to say this was an absolutely incredible experience. I've done quite a few trips with Turkol now, and I'm a happy passenger, but this one stood out as something really special. But this isn't the only special retro train in Poland, with the recent launch of the iconic Intercity Nieśpieszni, using a fleet of retro-coloured locomotives and thoughtfully restored compartment carriages travelling on some of the country's most incredible routes, which I tried out a few months ago, something you can learn all about by clicking up here now.